Well, hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Mystic Door Tarot. This is Barb with your weekly reading, and I thought it really would be interesting to check in with the karma cards for this week's reading. And I haven't really pulled out these cards in quite a long time, but they were kind of calling to me. So a little karma and astrology for the week ahead. The messages coming through will be on a spiritual, a mental, and a physical level. But before we begin, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel. Hit the like button, share a positive comment with the community. So with that, let's begin and see what messages and guidance are coming through. And of course, as always, we're going to see what crystal is coming through for the week, even though we're doing the karma cards. But let's see what's coming through for Scorpio. What does Scorpio need? Which crystal? And the crystals are really tying into what the karma card messages are indicating. So it's really interesting because usually when I do karma card readings, I don't, have the crystal cards with it, but they're kind of, they're really connecting. So it's really interesting. So we have Emerald, and this is in regards to ceremonies and celebrations. It's a time of important life passages, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. So it feels very much like the Four of Wands energy to me with that. But let's see what you get. Planet signs and houses. So let's see what planet's coming through for you, Scorpio, for your first part of the message. All right. Okay, and you have the South Node. It's not really a planet, but it's in the mix. All right, and what sign is going to be the second part of your karma reading? And doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be Scorpio. Can, but it's in Virgo. Okay. And what house is it going to be in? So we've got the South Node in Virgo. In what house? In the 8th house. Shared resources. Okay. Well, we'll talk about this is the South Node in Virgo in the 8th house. And somehow it's going to tie into your crystal, in regards to celebrations and ceremonies that might be happening this week. Now, what I'm going to tell you in regards to the South Node, of course, the opposite of your North Node on your birth chart. The North Node is your destiny for this lifetime on Earth. The South Node is what you're already good at, what you've excelled at, what you've been doing. It's the opposite, really, of what you should be doing in this lifetime. So this is kind of, if the North Node is a green light, this is certainly a no-go. It's a red light. So it is it's got the message of stop, look, listen, and remember. The South Node can represent bad karma, but karma is more than like bad things happening to you because of what you've done. Karma is the work that you have decided you must do in order to feel good about yourself. So with the South Node coming up, it's a reminder that you may be going against what you know is in your best interest, okay? Now in Virgo, Virgo is attention to detail. It is, seeing things through to the very end. Being a perfectionist. Very logical, hardworking. Often maybe referred to as being a workaholic. There's work to be done in specific detail, organization. Now, the 8th house is in regards to resources. that are under the control of you and also others. So it is resources, values. It is in regards to your first house. That is, you yourself. And this is those shared resources, working with others. And it can be that there's not, what I'm going to say, an equal partnership. So it's interesting with the South Node in Virgo in the 8th house. So it's having to go back, attention to detail, to maybe money matters in regards to whoever you're sharing your resources with. Or what I'm picking up for some is loaning money. And with it being the South Node here, Scorpio, it's something you know better not to do. If you're lending money out, you've worked hard. So, but it is shared resources. It could be somebody else without consulting you, possibly lending out money or spending money. Now, this can certainly be in regards to what we see here, us for a special occasion, but you weren't maybe consulted, so to speak. So let's look at the spiritual, mental, and physical messages coming through. And if you look at the cards here, you see the S for spiritual, M for the mental, what's on your mind, and then also the physical. And we're taking a look at, if you take this particular action that we're seeing here, you're going to be able to see what the outcome will be. So first off, in the South Node, it says, remember the serving of others, which is Virgo's energy, as a life or death issue. So remember the serving of others as a life or death issue. That might mean in regards to money or whatever might be what's being asked of you at this time, Scorpio. You're like, is this life or death? You might even be saying those words. Is this life or death? Somebody might want to borrow like $1,000 and you're saying, is this life or death? So remember the serving of others as a life or death issue. Now, if you take that kind of action, let's see what the outcome will be. All right, we have, there will not be methods for the healing power of personal power. So there will not be the methods for the healing power of personal power. And that's if you do not remember the serving of others, the helping others, the giving of others as a life or death issue. It's asking yourself, is this a life or death issue? And I'm really picking up it's in regards to money. So there will not be methods for healing in regards to your personal power. This is shared resources again. So, and it might pertain to money that's being put up for a ceremony, a celebration. It can be in regards to if you're not involved in the ceremony, it could be attending it like a wedding, and you usually give money for a wedding. So there's something here, Scorpio, about you're not being consulted in a matter at hand. So let's take a look at what's on your mind. All right, right here, reconsider the details of getting and using power. So that's the action. Reconsider the details of getting and using power. There's something here about, wow, they're kind of showing me a doormat. Don't let yourself be a doormat. And this is in regards to money. This is in regards to shared resources. This might be in regards to if you're sharing You're living with someone, you're sharing the rent, and you're putting up the money for them, and they say they're going to pay you back. So reconsider the details of getting and using power, your power. So let's see what the outcome might be. All right, the outcome, anxiety about the analyzing of the mysteries of life. Wow. Anxiety about analyzing the mysteries of life. What's really going on under the surface. That's always what the mystery of life is. Looking at the bigger picture. Scorpio, you are excellent for doing that. You really can take a good look at the mysteries of life, the bigger picture, what's really going on, what's underhanded here. So there is a realization, anxiety about you analyzing the mysteries of life in regards to what's going on this week. There's a message here about shared resources where you're not consulted, so to speak. So I am seeing money not disappearing, but you're asking about it. You're asking, where is this going? And it can be for a good cause. It can be you might have a child that's graduating. You know, it could be a special anniversary. There's money going out and you're not consulted. All right, let's take a look at the last one here, which is the physical. So now is not the time to do what you must do and use other people's resources. Now is not the time to do what you must do and use other people's resources. So it also can be the tables are turned where you're wanting to do something in regards to maybe a party, an event, and it's shared resources. You're using other people's resources. Now, this can be in regards to if you're a treasurer of a group. So now's not the time to kind of just say, well, I got to do what I got to do. And this is in regards to other people's resources. And it might be in regards to a celebration or an event, something that's being planned this week, Scorpio. So that's the advice in the physical world. Let's see. Now we have trouble resulting from the perfectionism, that's Virgo, a major change. So altogether, it's trouble resulting from the perfectionism of a major change. So you could be taking something into your hands this week, Scorpio. It's going to backfire on you. It can be in regards to an event that's being planned or a ceremony that's happening. There's an important life passage that you might be involved with here. So have the emerald crystal with you for the week, but there's trouble resulting from the perfectionism of a major change. So again, the South Node puts you in a position. This message with the South Node kicking everything off is putting you relying back on the comfort zone. What's comfortable for you. And trouble is resulting from the perfectionism of making a major change. North Node is what you're supposed to be learning on this journey. So it's really interesting how the cards are really explaining, about your personal power and analyzing, looking at the bigger picture, seeing what's really going on in the background. And there's trouble, kind of almost if you overanalyze something, that's such a major change. There's trouble coming in because after you see what you see, you can't unsee it, if you followed me with it. So, wow, Scorpio, really interesting, but you are really good at, figuring out the mysteries of life. You love things mystical and magical, and you can really see through people. You're dealing with the 8th house, which is shared resources, whether it's something you're involved with, a committee that you're on, where maybe you're the treasurer. It's dealing with other people's resources, and it can be your shared resources, like with a significant other. For some of you, it can be something as simple as you have a roommate and you're putting up the money for the roommate, and it's warning you about not doing that. You know, the South Node is relying back on what's not in your best interest. So that's the message that's coming through from the Karma cards. So thank you so much for joining me, and sending you love and abundance.